In the 17th century, settlers bring an evil force across the ocean to the New World. Townsfolk are driven to murder. Now, a shadowy corporation denies access to the site. Fact or fiction? Discover the truth about the curse of Dudleytown. Before we get into this, here's a quick reminder. Make sure you subscribe and hit notifications. You'll be the first in line when we release new videos. Okay, onward with the rankings. Number 10. Dudleytown was never an actual town. Dudleytown is just the name of an area within Cornwall town. It got its name from members of the Dudley family who settled in the area in the 17th century. The Dudley family were originally from England and they arrived in the colony looking for a better life. In the 1740s, Thomas Griffiths began farming in the area. He was soon followed by Gideon Dudley. Then, in 1753, Barzillai Dudley and Abiel Dudley arrived, with Martin Dudley joining them a few years later. Number 9. Edmund Dudley was not a relation. Along with bringing their name to the area, the Dudley family appear to have brought the rumour that they were related to the English nobleman Edmund Dudley. Edmund Dudley was tried for treason and beheaded in 1510. This brought about a curse that reportedly followed his descendants. Whatever the case, the Dudleys of Cornwall were not part of that family. Number 8. Dudleytown is owned by Dark Entry Forest Incorporated. Dudleytown has been privately owned by the mysterious sounding Dark Entry Forest Incorporated since 1924. This organisation brought up large tracts of land and set about planting forests. Its perhaps unfortunate name derives from shadows that are cast upon the wooded area from the surrounding hills as the sun works its way across the sky. Its intentions were entirely benign, with an aim to conserve the nature of the area. They were most likely inspired by the state planting of public forests at that time. Number 7. The curse of Dudleytown began in 1926. In 1926, Edward C. Starr published a book on the history of Cornwall, and it included a 2-page summary of Dudleytown. In those 2 pages, he focused solely on the terrible effects that the curse of Edmund Dudley had had on the residents over the centuries. He talked about how people were driven mad by the curse and how they ended up spending their lives in insane asylums. Most of these stories appeared to be explainable simply as older people suffering from dementia and senility. Still, the stories stuck, and Dudleytown's fearful reputation started to develop. Number 6. Dudleytown did become a ghost town. The story of the curse goes that the townsfolk went mad over time. They gradually killed each other and themselves until there was nobody left but their tragic ghosts who were left to roam the empty buildings. In reality, while families did farm the land for generations, the ground was actually not the most fertile. As the West opened up in the 19th century, the people of Dudleytown left for better opportunities. This coincided with the decline of the local iron industry, thus leading to the formation of a ghost town. And over time, the ghost town itself became forgotten as it was slowly lost to the regrowing forest. Number 5. Very little remains of Dudleytown's original buildings. The passage of time, the weather, and new forest growth have combined to reclaim the settlement for nature. There is now little to see in the way of haunted dwellings. The deterioration has probably been encouraged by the Dark Entry Forest Group as a way to discourage people from visiting the site. Number 4. Dudleytown is closed to visitors. Dudleytown has become so popular with ghost hunters that the owners have had to restrict access. The area has been the subject of vandalism, and some of the ghost hunters have reportedly lit fires and left trash behind. These actions led the Dark Entry Forest Group to close the site to the public. This has had unintended consequences, as it has fueled speculation that something else is happening at the site. Thus, banning people from visiting Dudleytown has actually increased its mystique and intrigue. Number 3. The Blair Witch Project intensified the spotlight on Dudleytown. When the hugely successful, not to mention creepy, horror film was released in 1999, people linked it to Dudleytown. It would appear that some people obviously like the idea of being pursued and eventually slaughtered by a malevolent she-devil. So much so, in fact, that they sought out a place where they thought this might actually happen. Legions of the curious began to flock to Cornwall, causing increased distress to the local residents. This contributed to the eventual closure of the area. Number 2. The haunted Yankee Pedlar Inn in Torrington is just 13 miles away. Coincidence? The Yankee Pedlar Inn is noted for paranormal activity and has various haunted rooms. One of the most haunted is room 353. This is where the original owner, Alice Conley, died in mysterious circumstances. Over the years, staff and guests have reported sightings of various ghosts who appear to occupy the hotel. The 2011 movie The Innkeepers was based on the Yankee Pedlar's association with the undead and was filmed at the location itself. Number 1. You will be arrested if you go to Dudleytown. The ferocity with which the Dark Entry Forest group tried to prosecute trespassers is maybe the most chilling element of this story. They do not take kindly to uninvited guests in the slightest. If you arrive in Dudleytown unannounced, you're more likely to find yourself staring at the inside of a jail cell than you are staring at a portal to another dimension. Being chased by the police through the woods in the dead of the night might provide a thrill-seeking adventure that some people lust after. But if you value your freedom, think twice about investigating the curse of Dudleytown. Well, there they are. 10 facts about the curse of Dudleytown. What do you think? Do you think Dudleytown is cursed? Are the Dark Entry Forest group hiding something? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and hit notifications. Finally, if you have any ideas for videos or you have footage that you want us to feature, email us at content@ranktopics.com. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.